I awaken. I remember there's a fire in my spirit. There's a whisper in my soul, calling me back to the memory of the truth I used to know. I was walking in the shadows, now I rise into the light. Christ within me always waited for my heart to see what's right. No more fear, no more hiding. I'm returning to my name. I am love, I am divine. I am rising once again. I awaken to the Christ that lives in me. I accept it, I embrace it. This is who I'm born to be. I am shining, I am glowing with the power of the source. I identify with glory. I am waking up to more. I awaken. This is who I truly am. Every breath becomes alignment. Every heartbeat speaks my truth. Heaven starts inside my spirit, flowing out in something new. I am whole and I am holy. I am light that fills the dark. I am one with all creation. I am God's eternal spark. Every day I keep repeating every word that makes me free, till this truth becomes my nature, till this Christ becomes my me. I awaken to the Christ that lives in me. I accept it, I embrace it. This is who I'm born to be. I am shining, I am glowing with the power of the source. I identify with glory. I am waking up to more. I awaken. This is who I truly am. I'll keep speaking, I'll keep believing, till this truth becomes my breathing. Christ within me, Christ within me, Christ within me. Awakens now, awakens now. I awaken to the Christ that lives in me. I accept it, I embrace it. This is who I'm born to be. I am shining, I am glowing with the power of the source. I identify with glory. I am waking up to more. I awaken. This is who I truly am. before fear tried to define me. He spoke me whole, he spoke me clear, called me very good right here. Not a copy, not a clone, breathing flesh but not alone. Life sealed deep within my frame, I carry more than just a name. I don't chase what I already bear, I don't reach for what's already here. The mirror was never cracked, I just forgot how to look back. I reflect the Father, I reflect His glory, I reflect perfection written in His story. I bear His nature, I carry His flame, sealed with His life. I'm not ashamed. Christ in me, the living sign, His essence breathing through my life. Not striving up, we're not falling short, not bought with fear, not bound by code. His image wasn't lost in time, it's waking up inside my mind. What He is, He shared with me, not divided, not withheld. The same life that spoke the stars is the life I carry as myself. If He is light, then so am I. If He is love, I won't deny. Reflection doesn't steal the flame, it proves the fire still the same. I reflect the Father, I reflect His glory, I reflect perfection written in His story. I bear His nature, I carry His flame, sealed with His life. I'm not ashamed. Christ in me, the truth made plain. His breath, His life, His name. He didn't make me broken, He didn't make me small, He didn't change His mind about me at the fall. The breath He gave, He never withdrew. The image He formed is still true. I reflect the Father, not by effort but by birth. His glory moving through me, sanctifying earth. I bear His image, I walk in grace. Christ alive in me, face to face, very good from start to end. I am His expression. Oh man, I was never unsealed, I was never undone. I am life from the source, I am never unsealed, I was never undone. I am life from the source, I am
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you all had a great weekend. Before we start, I want to say this. If something didn't click last time, that's okay. If something stirred questions, that's good. If something felt unfamiliar or challenged what you were taught, that's normal. Awakening always begins that way. And if you came in with questions from last teaching, or you need clarity on something, go ahead and type them in the comment section so we can go over them together. Let me check the comment section to see. Okay, I'll start, but if any question comes in, we will take a look at it. In our last session, we stayed with Genesis 1, verse 1 to 5. We got to day 1. That's where we stopped the last time, on day 1. And what we saw was simple, but foundational. Humanity does not begin in sin. Humanity begins in unawareness, in forgetfulness, in darkness. Darkness is not evil. It's unexamined life. And the first movement of awakening was not perfection. It was light appearing, clarity appearing, understanding appearing. Even a small amount of clarity was called good. That's important, because it tells us that awakening is a process, not an instant transformation. No, it's a process. Some of you may still be sitting with day 1. Some of you may still be letting it settle. Some of you may be realizing things about yourself, your faith, or your journey. That's not something to rush past. Genesis itself doesn't rush. It unfolds in stages, and so does understanding. Day 2 is not about answers yet. It's about discernment. It's about how awareness begins to separate, distinguish, observe. Not to judge, but to understand. Day 2 is where we begin to see the difference between what we feel and what we are, what we inherited and what is actually true. This is where clarity starts to take shape. So with that said, let's continue slowly, carefully, and honestly, and step into what Genesis calls day 2. So we'll be starting from Genesis 1 verse 6. Let's start. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." Firmament represents mental boundary, discernment, inner framework. This is the moment you begin to separate what you feel from what you are. Before this, emotions and beliefs are blended. After this, you can observe instead of drown in them. This is emotional discernment. In the midst of the waters, waters represent thoughts, emotions, beliefs. Discernment forms inside experience, not outside of it. You don't escape feelings. You gain perspective within them. Next says, divide the waters from the waters. This is distinction. You begin to separate inherited beliefs from personal insight, emotion from identity, reaction from truth. This stage is where maturity begins. Moving on to Genesis 1:7, waters under the firmament. These represent reactive emotions, subconscious patterns, unexamined beliefs. Waters above the firmament. These represent reflective awareness, higher perspective, conscious understanding. You now experience levels of awareness. You feel something and can observe it. That distinction changes everything. Next says, and it was so. Discernment happens naturally when awareness develops. You don't force it. It arrives with maturity. Moving on. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Heaven represents inner awareness, conscious perception. Heaven is not a place you go. It is a state of awareness you enter. When you can observe thoughts and emotions without drowning, you are experiencing heaven. Next says, evening and morning were the second day. Again, we all start in confusion, okay? By default, we are all born into darkness. We are all born into hell. We are all born into unawareness. And we come out of it. That's why it says evening and morning. So from confusion to clarity, from process to understanding, from unawareness to awareness, from darkness into light. Awakening unfolds layer by layer. Okay? Next says, let the waters be gathered together. This is emotional organization. Thoughts and emotions stop being scattered. You begin to regulate feelings, understand reactions, hold emotional space. This is inner coherence. Next says, let the dry land appear. Dry land represents stability, grounding, presence. This is the moment you realize, I can stand. I'm not lost. I exist here. This is when identity begins to stabilize. You found a grounding. Next line says, and it was so. When emotions are organized, stability naturally appears. No striving, no fixing, just alignment. So Genesis 1 verse 5 to 9 together reads as, awakening begins by recognizing clarity and unclarity, developing discernment within our emotional world, organizing our inner life, and finally finding stable ground to stand on. Now let's move on to Genesis 1:10. It says, and God called the dry land earth. Key word here is called. Calling is not naming geography. Calling is assigning identity. Earlier, the dry land appeared. That was stability forming. Now it is called earth. That is recognition of embodied identity. Earth represents humanity, embodied consciousness, lived experience. This is the moment a person stops floating in confusion. God calling it earth means embodied existence is not a mistake. Your humanity is not something to escape. It is something to stand in consciously. Next line says, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. Waters symbolize thoughts, emotions, beliefs, inherited ideas, which is religion, culture, family systems. Before this stage, waters are scattered, emotional overwhelm, mental noise, conflicting beliefs. Now they are gathered. Seas are not chaos eliminated, they are chaos contained. This is emotional and mental regulation. You don't stop feeling. You stop being rude. by what you feel. You begin to say, I can observe my thoughts. I can feel without drowning. My emotions have a place, not control. This is a huge step in awakening, and Genesis dignifies it. Next line says, and God saw that it was good. This line is crucial. God does not say finished, perfect, complete. He says good, because stability plus emotional containment is enough for now. The Father sees you are making progress. So he says, good. He's not rushing you. Religion teaches you are still not there. Genesis teaches this stage is valid. You are making progress. God, the Father, confirms this stage is valid. He affirms progress, not performance. This removes shame from the journey. When awareness becomes grounded in embodied life, and thoughts and emotions are organized instead of chaotic, God calls that good, even before the journey is finished. Genesis 1:10 tells you, you don't need to escape your humanity. You don't need to silence your emotions. You don't need to be fully healed to be affirmed. You only need grounding, containment, presence, and God calls that good. Now let's move on to Genesis 1:11. And God said, this is invitation and permission. Awakening is not imposed from outside. Life calls forth what is already possible within you. Let the earth bring forth grass. Notice something important here. It says what? Let the earth bring forth grass. God does not bring forth the grass. The earth does. Earth represents embodied consciousness, humanity. Grass symbolizes the first signs of growth. Grass is simple, common, not impressive, but alive. This is the stage where small inner changes begin to appear. Not dramatic revelations, not public transformation, just subtle shifts like questioning guilt, sensing freedom, feeling calmer, noticing truth resonate. Awakening begins quietly, okay? Growth is happening. Next says the herb yielding seed. Herb symbolizes useful insight, healing, understanding, truth that nourishes. Seed represents potential, continuity, truth that reproduces itself. You don't just receive insight. You receive understanding that can grow again. Truth plants itself in you. You don't need to chase it. It begins to multiply naturally. Next is, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind. Now, growth matures. Tree represents established inner structure. Fruit represents lived expression. After his kind represents authenticity. This is where you stop trying to copy others' spirituality. Your life begins to produce fruit consistent with who you truly are. No imitation, no comparison, no performance, just integrity. Next says, whose seed is in itself. This is powerful. Growth does not depend on external validation, constant teaching, religious supervision. Truth becomes self-sustaining. You are no longer dependent on borrowed belief, fear of being wrong, external authority. Life begins to teach you from within. Next says, and it was so. No struggle, no delay, no resistance. When conditions are right, growth happens. You don't force awakening, you allow it. Moving on to Genesis 1:12. And the earth brought forth. This confirms something essential. Growth comes from within embodied life, not from above. You are not waiting for truth to arrive. Truth emerges as you become receptive. Now we see after his kind repeated. The repetition matters. Awakening does not make everyone the same. It restores authentic expression. You awaken into yourself. And God saw that it was good. Again, good, not perfect. God affirms early growth, imperfect understanding, incomplete maturity. You don't have to be finished to be affirmed. Religion postpones approval. Genesis gives it now. The Father is impressed with your progress, calls it good. Genesis 1:11-12 together reads as, when awareness becomes grounded, growth begins to emerge naturally from within. First, small changes. then nourishing insight, then mature expression. And God calls every stage of that growth good. Moving on to Genesis 1:14. And God said, this is meaning and order being introduced into awareness. Awakening is not chaos becoming spiritual. It is clarity being organized. Next says, let there be lights. Plural, lights, not let there be lights, lights. Lights are not objects. They are points of awareness. They represent insights, realizations, inner reference points. Not one revelation, many. That's why it says lights. Many revelations. Clarity, understanding comes in multiple forms, not just one moment. Multiple. Next says, in the firmament of the heaven. Firmament, again, represents perception, mental framework. Heaven represents inner awareness. This means guidance doesn't come from outside you. It appears within awareness itself. Truth becomes internalized. Next says, to divide the day from the night. Day represents conscious clarity. Night, unconscious patterns. This is self-awareness. Knowing when you are clear. Knowing when you are reacting unconsciously. No shame, just recognition. Next line says, and let them be for signs. Signs are not predictions. They are indicators. Inner peace, inner resistance, resonance, discomfort. Signs help you read alignment. They answer questions like, am I forcing this? Is this true for me right now? Signs are feedback from awareness. Next says, and for seasons. This is deeply important for healing. Seasons symbolize phases of inner growth. Learning, unlearning, healing, resting, expressing. Awakening is cyclical, not linear. This is freedom from comparison, urgency, spiritual pressure. Nothing blooms all the time. It's cyclical. Next says, and for days. Days are moments of active clarity within a season. You can be in a long season of healing and still have days of insight, days of peace, days of understanding. You don't have to be fully awakened to experience light, to experience clarity, to experience understanding. Next says, and years. Years symbolize long-term integration. This is when truth becomes embodied, habitual, natural. Awakening matures into identity, not effort. Years equals lived wisdom. Moving on to Genesis 1:15. Let them be for lights, to give light upon the earth. This line here is key. Heaven equals inner awareness. Earth equals embodied humanity. This means inner clarity is meant to illuminate how you live, not stay abstract. Awakening is not private spirituality. Awakening changes behavior, relationships, choices, presence. Truth moves from awareness into embodiment. Let your light shine before men, so they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Truth moves from awareness into embodiment. Next says, and it was so. No struggle, no delay. When awareness is ready, illumination happens naturally. You don't force integration. It follows readiness. Next says, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Greater light represents inner knowing, truth recognized directly. This is self-trust. You know because you know. The lesser light equals borrowed understanding. Understanding from teachers, traditions, external guidance. Borrowed light still helps, especially in darkness. Okay? Genesis does not shame external teachers. It just doesn't make them ultimate. Next says, he made the stars also. Stars are smaller insights, confirmations, reminders, gentle guidance. Not everything is a sun-level revelation. Some truths guide quietly. Next says, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. God sets them. This means stability. Awareness becomes consistent, not random. You begin to trust your inner navigation. Next says what? To rule over the day and the night. Rule does not mean control. It means orientation. Awareness now guides clarity, confusion. You are no longer lost in either. No longer lost. Next says, and God saw that it was good. Again, good, not perfect. God affirms guidance in progress, clarity developing, timing unfolding. The Father is pleased with your progress. Moving on to Genesis 1:19. It says, and the evening and the morning were the fourth day, same, evening to morning. Awakening always moves from confusion into clarity. This is process, not failure. So Genesis 1:14 to 19 together reads as awareness awakens, life gives us inner guidance, signs to read alignment, seasons to honor timing, moments of clarity, and long years of integration. So truth can move from inner knowing into how we live. Moving on to Genesis 1:20. And God said, this is not God doing something externally. This is life allowing awareness to surface what was already there. Awakening does not manufacture inner content, it reveals it. Next says, let the waters bring forth abundantly. Waters symbolize the emotional world, the subconscious mind, unexamined beliefs, inner depths shaped by memory, culture, and experience. These waters were already present earlier. Now they are invited to bring forth. Bring forth abundantly. Abundantly means in large quantity, not controlled, not selective. When awareness deepens, a lot comes up. A lot. Feelings, memories, patterns, reactions. Not because something went wrong, but because it's safe to surface now. You are healing. You are healing. So it's safe to surface now. You are not regressing, you are uncovering. Next says, a moving creature. Moving means active, responsive, not static. These are inner movements, not physical animals. Thoughts that move, emotions that shift, reactions that arise. These are felt experiences, not abstract ideas. Creature here represents instinctive responses, emotional impulses, subconscious reactions, not moral categories, not demons, not sins, just life reacting before conscious reasoning. Next says, that hath life. This is critical. Life is already present inside the waters. These emotions and impulses are alive, not evil. Religion often taught suppress emotions, distract instincts. Genesis says life is already in them. They are not enemies. They are expressions needing awareness. Next says, and fowl that may fly above the earth. Now the text introduces a second category, fowl or birds. They symbolize thoughts, perspectives, interpretations, mental narratives. They are lighter than emotions. They move faster. They shift more easily. Next says, that may fly above the earth. Again, earth is embodied human experience. Flying above symbolize observing, reflecting, gaining perspective. As emotions surface, thoughts also rise. You begin to think about what you feel. You begin to interpret experiences. You begin to form narratives, sometimes helpful, sometimes distorted. This is why awakening includes mental chatter. Next says, in the open firmament of heaven. Firmament equals perception, mental framework. Heaven equals inner awareness. Open means no longer hidden or suppressed. Thoughts are now visible to awareness. You can watch them. You don't have to be them. This is the birth of self-observation. So the verse together reads, as awareness deepens, emotions and instincts rise from the subconscious, and thoughts and interpretations begin to move across the mind. This is not disorder. It's life surfacing into consciousness. Mostly when people get to this stage, they panic. This stage is often misunderstood. Many people panic at this stage. They think, I'm getting worse. Why am I feeling so much? Why are my thoughts louder? But Genesis explains this is exactly what happens when awakening reaches the emotional depths. Nothing is wrong. Nothing needs condemnation. Nothing needs to be exorcised. No demon at work. No witches and wizards at work. No. You are reaching emotional depths. We will end here for today. Okay, I don't want us to go into a lot. We'll end here for today. We will touch the others on Wednesday. But before we do, I want us to pause again. Not to analyze, not to interpret further, but to notice. Today we reached a very important stage in Genesis. This is the moment where the waters begin to bring forth life. In other words, this is the stage where what has been hidden beneath the surface, which is emotions, instincts, inner movements, begin to rise into awareness. And I want to say this clearly because many people misunderstand this stage. When emotions surface, when inner movement increases, when thoughts feel louder or feelings feel deeper. Nothing has gone wrong. Nothing. This is not regression. This is not failure. This is not disorder. This is life saying, it's safe now to be seen. Be yourself. Be yourself. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to be afraid of. Be yourself. It's safe. Genesis does not treat this moment as dangerous. It does not rush to control it. It does not shame it. It simply allows life to emerge. So, if you are noticing more feeling lately, more sensitivity, more awareness of what's been beneath the surface, that is not something to suppress. It is something to observe gently. You are not meant to drown in the waters, in your emotions, no. But you are also not meant to pretend they aren't there. Awakening includes the emotional depth. It does not bypass them because you are healing. You are going through a stage of healing. And notice this too. God does not interrupt the waters. God does not silence them. God allows them to bring forth life. That tells us something very important about the Father. The Father is not afraid of your inner world. The Father does not reject your emotions. The Father does not condemn what is moving within you. Life understands life. So take your time with everything we have covered today. You don't need to interpret it yet. A lot have been said, so take your time with it. You don't need to resolve it yet. You don't need to label anything yet. Just stay present. Be yourself. Allow the healing to take place, because awareness always precedes integration. And when we come back on Wednesday, we will continue from where we stopped, from the place where Genesis shows us something beautiful, that even the deepest inner movements, even the emotional life rising from the waters, is seen, acknowledged, and called good, because the Father sees progress. So rest there. Let it settle. And remember, you are not separate from the Father. You are the breath of the Father. Life flowing from the source itself. Life expressing through form. Divinity expressing through humanity. Christ expressing through lived human experience. You were never meant to see yourself as inferior. Never meant to live beneath your true identity. That's why the Father asked in Genesis 3, who told you that you were naked? Who told you that you were unworthy? Who told you that you were broken? Who told you that you were a sinner? You are the Father's own life expressing itself through a human vessel to have earthly experience. Do you get that? You are the Father's own life experiencing itself through a vessel to have a human experience. That's what Genesis 1 verse 1 is talking about. That's what Genesis 2:7 is talking about. Your true identity is not something you earn. It is something you remember, something you awaken to. And this is why you do not need to fear death. This is why you do not need to fear lake of fire or hell or the afterlife. To fear those things would mean believing the Father will torture his own life, his own essence, Christ himself, and that is impossible. That is why Paul could say, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Not someday, now, immediately. The moment you drop the body, you go back to the Father. Because your source is the Father. Your life came from the Father. So the moment you drop the body, straight to your source. So you don't need to be afraid of death. You don't need to be afraid of the afterlife. There is no judgment waiting for anybody somewhere. There is no hell waiting for anybody somewhere. No. Once you drop the body, straight to the Father. When the body is laid down, life returns to its source, because that has always been where it comes from. So rest in that. Live from that. And let that truth reorder everything else. Have a good night, and I will see you on Wednesday. And same thing, if you have any question, you can bring it on Wednesday and we'll go over it. But then I'll leave you with a song and then we will end. Thank you all once again for joining.
Behold, what manner of love is this? Behold, what manner of love is this? Behold, what manner of love is this? We fell asleep inside ourselves, forgot the light we bore. But love did not abandon us, it kept knocking at the door. Not angry, not offended, not distant, not ashamed, just calling us by name. Before we ever wandered, before we ever strayed, love already knew the end and never turned away. Behold, what manner of love is this that calls us children still, not based on what we've done or failed, but mercy standing still. We were never separated, we were only unaware. Behold, to feel the fire and dread the final breath. But love is not a punishment, and life outlives all death. We don't disappear or fall into darkness or despair. We only keep awakening to love that's always there. Eternal life is not a place we travel to someday. It's Christ alive within us now, the light that cannot fade. Behold, what manner of love is this that never lets us fall. Might be death can interrupt the life we've come to know. No, no, no one's lost forever. No one's cast aside. Behold, what manner of love is this that sees us fully alive. Love never panicked while we slept. Love never counted wrongs. Love knew we'd wake up in its time, that's why it waited long. No fear, no threat, just truth unfolding gently. Calls us children, never reproach, awakens a soul, breaks the lagging eye. Behold, what manner of love is this that stayed when we were blind, that trusted truth would rise again in every heart and mind. We are not afraid of ending. We're not afraid to die. Behold, what manner of love is this that keeps us in its light. We never left love. We only forgot, and love remembered us the whole time.